everybody, it is Nikki here with Delicate Tension Tarot, and this is going to be a reading today for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Pisces placements in your chart. This will be for May 15th through the 30th. Is there 30 or 31 days in May? Who knows and who cares anymore? "31 days. So May 15th through the 31st. We do have a lot of interesting planetary transits happening right now that are quite impactful and effective. The first one is going to be, we do have Venus retrograding in Gemini. We also have Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. And we have Saturn in Aquarius right now for a couple months, and then it'll retrograde back into Capricorn until the end of the year. The Pluto retrograde is going to be until October. And then the Venus retrograde, we're probably going to be transiting out of that fully in mid-July. So a lot of interesting things, a lot of shifting. Typically when Pluto goes retrograde, whatever you had happen during the retrograde last year, I would pay attention to what that was, what was going on with that. It's a time to really revisit things, reflect, and then kind of choose what it is that needs to go and choose what deserves to stay. It's definitely a feeling of working through liberating yourself in a lot of areas and actually kind of being reborn in a way. So it's very like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. It can also be a particularly deep transit, so it can make you feel very deeply about things. It can make you very, very reflective. Definitely makes you go within. So if you find yourself becoming more quiet, more contemplative, and dealing with some heavier issues, that's why. All right, so I have decided, I don't know exactly what it looks like just yet, but I think I'm going to start doing pick-a-pile readings based on certain things for monthlies. So maybe I'll do a pick-a-pile reading for spiritual growth. Maybe I'll do a pick-a-pile reading for what's going on in your love life, career, etc. I just feel like it's a better way to break things up, especially since most of these messages go a couple of different ways. Usually it's love. I think that's just a typical collective energy. Most people who want to see readings want to know about love. There are people out there who are very, very interested in spiritual awareness or just growth in particular. It doesn't necessarily have to be around spirituality. But so yeah, I'm just going to try to figure out what I can do with that. Always remember that these are general readings. Not everything is going to resonate with you. You might not have anything resonate with you. And if that's the case, you can always check your moon, rising sign, or whatever major placements you have in your chart. One of mine is Sagittarius, for example. I have it in about 4 different areas that are very strongly highlighted. So it's good for me to look at Sagittarius to see what's going on for myself. But either way, if it doesn't resonate, you can always go check somebody else out. There's plenty of readers out there, and they're quite good at what they do. If you do find this resonates with you and you would like a personal reading with me, you can find all that information in the description box below. My website's there. There is a link to donate if you feel compelled to do so. It is not a necessity. There also is a link to my Instagram, I believe. And then there are links to the decks that I use down below so that you can go support the artist directly, since most of these creators are small business owners and independent artists. All right, let's get to it. Show me what's happening for Pisces, May 15th to the 31st. Three of Cups reversed. Bummer, guys. Bummer. You're definitely not feeling very good right now. Usually with cups, it's good to note that oftentimes they have to do with emotions, how we experience our emotions, how we express them, and also how we suppress them depending on the position of the card. With the Three of Cups in reverse, it can often be about suppressing emotions through usually drinking. Whatever it is that you use to suppress your emotions, that's what it usually gears towards. It also can be a sense of not having fun anymore. which is, I think, you know, most of us are dealing with those emotions and feelings with having to be in our homes or just having to kind of be on lockdown. So just really right now, I think for you guys, you're not super stoked on life. You're not very happy right now. Many of you could be drinking more or suppressing your emotions through various ways. Whatever it is, you're not using your emotions to create. And to me, I mean, for water signs in general, I feel like that's an interesting issue because you guys are highly creative and it's a way for you to process and use your emotions in a positive way. So something that you can do is if you feel the need to express your emotions or you feel the need to use your creative side to do that, I encourage you to. I think it'll help you kind of put an even keel on things. Show me what the block is for Pisces here. 10 of Wands. So usually with this card, the character, he's walking down this path and he's walking away from something in the distance. So with the 10 of Wands, it can actually be about physical relocation. It could have placed you at more of a distance between either you and your friends or you and other people, especially with the 3 of Cups in reverse. It's a very solitary card. It's someone who's having to carry their burdens or their choices and their actions on their own. They're having to carry it alone. It can be a quite heavy energy. Maybe it's the energy, it's why you're in the 3 of Cups in reverse. Let's see what's happening for you subconsciously. What's going on for Pisces in their subconscious for May 15th to the 30th? Damn, guys. You guys have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So there's a big release of emotions here. I feel like a lot of you are very, very, very deep in your feelings. Maybe that last full moon that we had kind of started triggering a lot of these events. It was in Libra. So a lot of it was having to do with closing out old cycles or chapters, especially if they were karmic in nature, which means that they potentially were very unhealthy for you. But at the same time, they taught you a lot about yourself and they taught you a lot of lessons that you can carry moving forward. But with the Ace of Cups in reverse in your subconscious, it can either be feelings of rejection, it can be feelings of loss, it can be feeling as if whatever is going on inside of you is potentially starting to make its way out. Physically crying, especially if you are leaning on substances a little more. Maybe you're doing that to soften yourself up so you can actually cry. That there's just a need to release. There's a need to really allow these emotions to come out of you in a physical way. Let's see what's happening in Pisces' recent past. Okay, so you have the 8 of Swords in reverse. You have the Fool. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So for many of you in the recent past, I feel like there could have potentially been feelings of entrapment. Literally feeling like you were in a cage or a prison. This could have been due to someone around you as well, because that person didn't get there by themselves. So it could have just been an energy of feeling anxious, trapped, smothered, overwhelmed, not really feeling like you had the freedom. And then I think those feelings ultimately encouraged you to break away or break free from something, because the Fool is starting off on a new journey into the unknown, not really knowing what he's doing or where he's going, but he's going and he's trying to trust himself, making sure he's making the right decisions. But with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse as well, there could have been a lot of financial loss around this or financial difficulty. Whatever it is that you're setting off on doing, you're not, at least in the recent past, and I think this is going to go for at least the next month or two for you, whatever this new beginning is, with Ace of Pentacles in reverse, you really need to think deeply on what it is that you're trying to create, what your intention is behind it, and what you can actually physically do to make it happen and to support its growth. Pentacles are a lot of physical labor. They're hard work. If you want to multiply a pentacle, you have to literally get your hands in the dirt, and you've got to get dirty. You have got to learn to build from the ground up. So let's see what's happening in your higher self or your conscious mind. We have the Hierophant in reverse. It's really hard for you to stick to your commitments right now. Let's get one more. Ten of Swords in reverse, or you might have left a commitment behind. It's quite possible too that a lot of the spiritual lessons you've been learning have been very difficult in nature. It probably has made you feel as if you have lost almost everything. Ten of Swords is a very painful card. The imagery on it is incredibly painful. It's a little bit of an overkill too, so there's this feeling of maybe you feeling that way. I don't want to say it's very dramatic or a dramatization, but it can be. It definitely can be. We're going to pull some clarifiers for that to open that up at the end. Let's see what's happening in the near future for you for May 15th to the 31st. We have the Seven of Cups. I think you need to be really careful during this time period. The Seven of Cups is usually a card of illusion. It's a card of not really knowing what's going on. We have the Five of Swords here as well. This could lead to a lot of conflict. It could lead to a lot of very interesting conversations between you and other people, or you and another person in particular. But what it is it's almost like in the Five of Swords, whatever this person says, they're very conscious of what they're saying, and they're saying it because they want it to hurt. They're saying it because they want to prove their point, and they're saying it because honestly they want to make sure that you feel and understand where it is that they're coming from. Unfortunately, it's just usually done in a very negative and challenging way. But with the Seven of Cups there, I feel like a few of you might have somebody getting real with you pretty soon. Someone may be pointing out parts of you to yourself that I think you're aware of, but at the same time, it's like somebody's trying to make you see something about yourself. And I think a lot of it has to do with the struggle that you keep entering into, or that you keep finding yourself being a part of, because a lot of these cards are very intense. They're very heavy. They're very cyclical in nature, but also it's very much so about this feeling of you repressing yourself. And it's about you getting lost in options. It's about you getting lost and not knowing which way to go. It's about you getting lost and feeling as if although there is all this unlimited potential right in front of you, what are you going to focus on? Because that's what the Seven of Cups is all about. There's 7 choices that you can make, but only one of them is suitable for you. And because of that, it can feel very confusing. It can feel very daunting, and it can make you feel very unsure of yourself. But I think that's why the Seven of Cups is an interesting card for me, because really it's asking you to get real with yourself about what it is that you really desire within your heart. It's not about what looks good. It's not about what's going to get you the most at the end of the day. It's about what you really crave and what you really desire. But sometimes we get in this space or this place of, well, I want that though. I want all of them. I don't just want one. And sometimes in life that's not how it works. Sometimes you have to really look at long-term potential and long-term happiness and what's going to be most suitable for you, and not just what's suitable for you in the moment, because that's going to fade. That's the other thing about the Seven of Cups. Whatever you choose, if it's not for you, it's going to fade away. You're going to drink from the cup and then it's going to disappear. So let's see what's happening in your emotional sector. What's happening in Pisces emotional sector from May 15th to the 31st, please? We have the Chariot. We have the Four of Swords. You could be very busy during this time period, or at least wanting to be busy. Knight of Wands in reverse. I like this though. I like seeing that the Knight of Wands is in reverse and the Chariot's in the upright, because it's indicating that you're definitely learning from past behavior in some way. You're trying not to be as potentially flighty or disconnected as you once were. With the Chariot, you're getting very clear on quite possibly the things that you've done and the lessons that you've learned that are really trying to harmonize you and bring you back into balance with yourself, so that you can have a very direct and conscious path towards the future. especially if it has a lot to do with what it is you're wanting to grow. Show me what's happening around Pisces, please, for May 15th through the 31st. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Moon. We have the Sun in reverse. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. There could be a person who is connected to you. This could be through business. Or it could also literally be a person connected to you. I don't think this is a family member. It could be. But with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, especially over here with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse as well, there could be somebody thinking about an opportunity that they potentially had with you that they turned down. Maybe because there's a little too much confusion and uncertainty in the situation. There's also a lot of illusion here, so I really want you to be careful. And with the Sun in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, there's almost something here about, I don't know if, I'm going to try to explain this the best way that I can. I feel like this person constantly felt as if you were somewhere else in your own mind. Because with the Moon, it's a very dreamy quality. It's someone who isn't really here in the physical world. They're very much so lost up in their mind. It's a very strong fantasy element. But I also feel like this person saw you lost inside of yourself. They noticed you were unhappy, and I feel like that wasn't changing. Like nothing they could have done would have made you happy. But it's because you're trying to find happiness on your own. I think that's the big thing here. I think that's what the leap of faith was about, because I feel like whatever this feeling of being trapped is, it's you realizing that nobody is going to create this for you but you. Nobody can fix this. Nobody can make it better. Nobody can make you better. It's something you have to do on your own. Let's see what's happening in the hopes and fears. We have the Lovers and the Hanged Man in reverse. There could be a very powerful attraction you have towards somebody that you have been involved with before. I feel like this is a relationship that keeps either popping up into your mind, or it's something that keeps coming back into your life in some way, shape, or form. With the Hanged Man in reverse, I do feel like you're becoming more enlightened to what that connection actually is, or what it means to you, or actually, you know, the depth of the connection itself. And maybe that's what makes you feel lost as well. Maybe it's trying to find something that mimics that connection, but nothing can. Let's see what the far-reaching outcome is. We have the Six of Swords. You might be moving away from difficult situations, especially whatever the situation is in the Five of Swords. You're going to be moving away from that. We have the Page of Swords. You might be moving away from it, but you're still going to be thinking about it. Then we have Death. And we have the Six of Cups. So you could be reconciling or reuniting with family, old friends, or old soul connections that have a lot of meaning to you. I typically absolutely do not like talking about these things in readings, and part of me wants to just fucking shut up and not say anything, and I might. But there just could be an interesting transition that's happening for someone around you. A lot's going to be changing here in the near future for you. I think you're going to be receiving words or messages that force you to either temporarily go home for a second to reconnect. There's just a lot of changes that are going to be taking place. Oh, and there you are. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let's pull some clarifiers here. go ahead and clarify the the Three of Cups in reverse for Pisces, please. Let's clarify the Three of Cups in reverse. So Three of Cups in reverse, we have the Five of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you're definitely not in a good place. I think you're still processing a lot of loss. 3 potential losses, actually, with the Three of Cups there. I do feel like there is someone around you. It could be a family member. It could also be a friend. But there is someone who's trying to help you make better choices about where you're going. But at the same time, there's just these issues. There's something really strong here that you're trying to change about yourself and that you're trying to fight off. It's something that has been a source of your anxiety for a very, very long time. It's something that you've had a really big issue battling. It literally could be depression. It could be depression, anxiety, whatever the case may be. But it's the source of what causes you to make the choices that you make. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands here. We have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, there definitely could have been an energy of relocation. I feel like this relocation is good for you though, or this distancing. Because there's a need, like I said, for you to get really real with yourself about what it is that you need or desire in your life. If it's not a physical relocation, it's just putting down or needing to put down the burdens that you carry around the previous choices or actions that you made. If you have a very evasive energy or you're very quick to cut and run, it's something that you're confronting at this time. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse. And the reason why I say confronting and not making amendments is because I don't see any characters here that show taking 100% responsibility, so we'll see what happens. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse, please. Yeah, Eight of Swords in reverse. Man, you're really stuck. And to be perfectly honest, it's like I just keep hearing the phrase, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix what I've done? How do I fix all of the things that I've done? What do I do? What do I do? How do I fix my life? Let's clarify the Eight of Swords in reverse over here in the recent past. You have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you definitely could have been feeling trapped by another person. Let's clarify the Fool. We have the Ten of Cups. And let's clarify the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That's way too many cards. We have the Fool and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Feels very much so like in the recent past. I think you took a leap of faith towards something that you thought would be, I don't want to say the end all be all, but the Ten of Cups is a pretty high pinnacle in terms of happiness. You could literally be doing that right now. That might have been the choice that you recently made to go after your own personal happiness and what it is that you want to create. But it's interesting because I see you doing it alone. I don't see you doing it with anyone. And at the same time, I feel like you're still trying to find your footing in what it is that you want to create in your life. I think you know that there's a lot of work ahead of you, and I think you're trying to prepare for that. So in preparation of that, I think you're just trying to deal with whatever these personal feelings you have at this time, so you really can focus on this in the future. Let's clarify the Hierophant in reverse and the Ten of Swords. Oh yeah, major endings. We have Death, the Page of Wands in reverse, and the World. A lot is happening and a lot is changing for you right now. I do feel like you feel very disconnected from other people. And I don't care if you've been around other people. I don't care if you've been sitting in the same room with somebody for a month or 2 months or whatever the case may be, but you were very disconnected. I don't want to use the word vacant because that's not what I'm getting here, but it's just what people see on the outside and what people see what people see on the outside and what's actually going on the inside are two totally different things. I think you're undergoing a very difficult change. I think you're undergoing a very difficult period. But I do think that if you can utilize what it is that you know you're supposed to do, what it is that you know is best for you, and what it is that you know is almost kind of like your true potential or your soul's calling, destiny, whatever you want to call it, if you can follow that and you can really walk that line, I feel like you'll get rewarded for leaving certain things in the past behind. These could have been behaviors. This could have been choices that you had been making due to things that had happened to you, and you know it got taken out on other people. But either way, you're becoming a different person. Like, I feel like who you're becoming, people are not going to recognize. That's how drastic the change is. It's here in your conscious forefront mind, and it's in your far-reaching future. This is a big change. And I feel like if you are going to be reconnecting with people from your past, people are going to be pretty shocked at the changes that have happened to you. Let's clarify the Seven of Cups here in the near future. So with the Seven of Cups in the near future, we have the High Priestess in reverse and the Six of Swords in reverse. Very interesting. I think you're going to have a lot of things revealed to you that are going to make the choices that you need to make a lot easier. I think reality is going to be dealing you a very interesting hand or dose of something to clear things up for you. You can consciously receive this if you want to. You can deny it if you want to. It's up to you. Really, oftentimes the more we deny something, the more that we're kind of encouraging a tower moment to happen, which is usually very difficult energy of kind of someone just pulling everything out from under us and us feeling like we have been knocked upside the head, pretty much. Let's clarify the Five of Swords here. Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you're in a very difficult energy right now. There's so much energy of just feeling stuck. And that's even outside of the context of the stay-at-home orders, even outside of the context of quarantine or shelter in place. This is outside of this situation. This is personal. This is feeling like, how do I put it? I'm trying to figure out a way to really articulate this. There's so much awareness that's happening for you right now inside of yourself. I think there's so much that you're accepting and recognizing inside of yourself, and so many things have happened to you that you've really been carrying for some time. And I think now you're really grieving what has actually happened because you're in the space to do so. Because you're alone. So not only do I feel like you're grieving what has happened, I think you're grieving possible potentials of what will be happening. there's a lot of acceptance that's happening here, but there's also a lot of resistance. I think there's a really big push and pull happening for you right now inside of yourself. Because it's almost like this urge to like cut out everything and leave everything behind and totally reinvent yourself and totally change and become a new person that people don't even recognize in a positive way. But I think too, it's like articulating that and actually doing it and taking the action and stepping up to the plate is where you're having an issue. And I think it's because you're still processing these feelings. Let's clarify the Chariot here in your emotional sector. Yeah, we've got the Four of Pentacles. Let's clarify the Four of Swords in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords. And let's clarify the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have Judgment. Yeah, I definitely think you're being held responsible or accountable for your past deeds or actions. You could feel like you're literally getting karma. Usually Judgment signifies that for me as well as the World. And the Wheel of Fortune. So you got a lot of strong cards here on karma. But also there's this thing here emotionally for you. There's still some stuff that you need to let go of if you really want the Chariot to move in unison and in sync with like your intentions and your motives. I do think death is coming in to take care of that. I think that that's part of the transformation. It's going to really force you to let go of everything that's holding you down or holding you back. Like I said, if you continue to resist the choice, death comes in, the Tower comes in, things come in to totally wash away whatever it is that you're holding on to that you're resisting. Because at the end of the day, I think basically the imagery that I'm getting is it's like, let's just say, it's going to sound like a really fucked up and weird analogy because who in the hell would want to hold on to like 4 really big boulders and just be like they're mine? But it's like this image of somebody holding on to something that weighs them down. This is metaphorical, right? Somebody has these boulders that they're holding on to and it weighs them down. It creates weight. They can't really move. They can't do anything. But at the same time, these boulders that they're holding on to for some reason matter so much to them, and they feel like if they let them go, they won't have anything. Then rain comes in. The rain starts turning into a rushing river. Then it starts turning into a flood. And basically, it's one of those things where death starts approaching, and it's going to look at you and ask, okay, like, do you really want to die? Do you really want to die for the sake of holding on to these rocks? Do you really want to just get drowned in this river because you can't move? We're trying to help move you. You just have to let go. And if you let go of this stuff, we'll be able to carry you to a different place where you can stand up and you can be free of what it was that was holding you back in the first place. And I think that's what's happening. Like it's a really weird metaphor and analogy, but it's what I'm seeing and it's what makes sense to me right now, especially since there really actually is a lot of water here. I mean, you are a Pisces, you're a water sign, but there's a lot of rivers here. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of motion. There's things that are trying to carry you. I think you're trying to be logical about the changes that need to be made. I think you're trying to be very protective of yourself. I think you're trying to be protective of your environment. You can be coming off a little cold and harsh to people right now, which is probably why this Five of Swords energy is up here. Because maybe it's the way that you're articulating whatever it is you have to say right now comes off as very harsh. I mean, people literally might think you're being an asshole right now. Because there's no softness to the way that you're speaking. There's no love. There's no warmth. Because for you right now, you do not have warmth in your life. There's no warmth here. This is all very cold energy. It's very transitional. It's not happy. Let's clarify the Page of Pentacles in reverse, please. For what's going on around Pisces. Page of Pentacles in reverse is the Four of Cups in reverse. There definitely might have been a rejection of an offer here. I do think, though, it's because you're starting to realize that there's this awareness of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Let's clarify the moon. There we go. I was waiting for that person to jump out. We have the Emperor. So that's where I come back to talking about how there's nobody here that represents taking responsibility just yet. There's no major card here that says, all right, I'm standing up, I'm doing it, I'm being authoritative, I'm taking responsibility for my actions and my choices, and I'm going to change them. Now that's here. However, I think this is what somebody perceives in you. And I do think there is a part of you that is doing this. I think with the moon energy tied to the Emperor, this is you being in your head wondering how you can become that person, what it is that you have to do or what you would have to sacrifice in order to be in that position. It's a very difficult thing, I think, for you to do with the moon there, because it's just you're not sure. You're not sure if you have what it takes right now, and you're not sure if anything that you do is going to matter. I think that's the other big thing here, is that you're not sure if anything that you do is actually going to matter. If it's going to make a difference. But it will. Let's clarify the Sun in reverse here. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We have Justice in reverse. Yeah, really, really strong karmic lessons, karmic relationships, and karmic connections in your life that you are either eradicating or you're in the process of eradicating them. Whoever this person was that you were in the process of building with, I feel like that was a very intense karmic situation for you. It could have been something where, I mean, it literally is about kind of like falling head over heels for someone really fast and then not realizing what you've gotten yourself into. Regardless of if they're a good or bad person, right? But there's just still something here where I feel like you're getting so in tune with the realization of how you're the only person who's going to make you happy. And I think that realization is really kind of fucking with you. Because until you do that for yourself, I think you're realizing that you're not going to be happy with anybody. Because this is a lot of time, effort, and energy that's been put into trying to do something over and over again in a certain way and expecting a different result and not getting the result that you desire. So let's clarify the Lovers here in the hopes and fears. We got the Four of Swords. Whoever this person is, it's from the past. It's someone that you have been disconnected from for a little bit. I think that there's a lot of healing and reflection that had to happen in that connection. And the Wheel of Fortune just came out. So yeah, seasons and cycles have definitely passed. Let's clarify the Hanged Man in reverse here. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you're getting pretty clear about who it is that you want to be with, the type of person that you want to be, and the type of life that you want to have. Like I said, it's just about implementing those things into action that you're having a really hard time with. Because it's almost like I feel like there's this really odd, not a perfectionist mentality on it, but I think there's just a way that you're viewing it or a way that you're thinking about it that makes it very precise on how you want to approach it. But I think that's where you fuck up, right? Like, I feel like that's what ultimately defeats you, is because you think it has to go in this weird sequential order, or there's this like story that it has to follow in order to be correct, and that's not the case. Let's clarify the Six of Swords here. Eight of Cups. So yeah, you're leaving behind these really difficult things, especially whatever the choices were in the Seven of Cups. I think that it's almost like you're not choosing anything. And I think you are walking away, and right now you are going on a journey to figuring out what is really going to truly make you happy at the end of the day. Let's clarify the Page of Swords here. I also think you might be traveling to somebody who is at a distance from you. You might need help because you do have the Five of Pentacles here. This might be a very difficult and complicated and challenging thing for you to do, to go speak to this person or even initiate a conversation. If that's not it, this has nothing to do with another person in the outcome, right? This has a lot to do with you. I think you're about to learn a lot. And I think you're about to gain a lot of wisdom by, for lack of a better word or phrasing, your perspective is going to change because you are going to be forced to understand what it's like to do something alone and how challenging that is. But it's going to teach you something brand new, and it's going to change your perspective in a way that I think is really going to cause another catalyst or transformation within you. Let's clarify death here. Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you're getting a reality check. You're getting a reality check. That or what could have been hidden from your sight is coming to light. So if you did feel like there was something off about certain people, places, or situations, you're going to be finding out information about that that's going to make you more aware. Whatever it is that you felt like you know, but you didn't actually know, I think it's going to come into your awareness. Let's do the Six of Cups here. Let's clarify the Six of Cups. I know, I just made that look so daunting. I just made it look so daunting. I apologize. When I read tarot cards, I don't have a poker face. The Queen of Cups is in reverse with the Nine of Wands, and the Moon in reverse with the Six of Cups. You might be reconnecting with a mother figure. This mother figure could have substance abuse issues because she is in her reverse, which means that she does not welcome and explore her emotions or her world. She suppresses them through means that are very unhealthy and quite toxic for her. It's literally like drowning in her emotions. This might be highlighted by the concept of whatever the transition or the change I was speaking on earlier that's going to be happening around you that might be connected with family or friends or deep soul connections or bonds. This might add to another challenging layer of what you're experiencing, which is why it's not time for you to act on anything just yet, because I think there's still one last thing that has to happen to give you the final push to lay the burden down. But I feel like you're going to get hit with another reality check pretty soon. Yeah. Either way, when I keep saying the idea of being hit with a reality check, this reality check is all about helping you grow into the person that you're meant to become for you. It's almost like if you found yourself asking 1,000,001 questions about why you are where you are, what have you done to deserve this, what can I do to be better, why can't I have this, why can't I do this, what is my problem? It's almost like the answers are being delivered to you now. The path is, it's really attempting to be made clear. It really is. It's trying very, very hard. I just think it's about a certain level of resistance that needs to be released. And I really do feel like you kind of need to be in this position of surrender right now. Because in surrender, I think that it'll open you up to the possibilities of what really is in store for you if you just try. And I'm not saying you don't try, but I feel like there's been a level of defeat here and self-defeat at the same time. And it really is time for you to pick your head back up and stand up and really move forward in the direction that you want to go in. especially if you don't want to end up like some of these people that you're connected to here. So let's pull some final 3 clarifiers for Pisces. We have Mirror. Like I said, you probably had some connections or things happening in your life that really were showing you who you were. Not only who you were, but who you are and who you should become or who you want to become. It's a lot of self-reflection. Shield, we do have some protection here. I do feel like you're protecting yourself pretty strongly right now. We had Farmer in reverse. I don't think it's time yet. I also think it's almost like there might be a reason why you're not really stepping into making certain changes yet, because I feel like there's a part of you that is almost anticipating or preparing for another form of a hit that you're going to have to recover from. And I don't think it's financial. I think it's emotional. It can become financial if you want it to become financial, but... And then we have Ocean. And Broken Heart. You are definitely, if you're not going through it already, it's quite possible that you're going to be very, very deep in your emotions coming up. I think that there's going to be a lot of emotional release. I think that there is going to be this surge of feelings within you. It might come along with realizations or recognition or acceptance, but it's deep. Like with the Ocean, it's deep. What is coming up has been there for a very long time. It is a very vast experience. The things that even some of the stuff that might be coming up, like you might have put it deep down inside for like 10 years. And now it's just coming to the surface, or 5, or it could be last week. It's deep. I'm starting to lose my voice now. My bad. I was just about to try to articulate or say something that was along the same lines, and it's really funny how it just happened. And I feel like that's what's going to push you to communicate, because I feel like for a really long time you haven't been able to communicate, and you felt very closed off from actually expressing what it is that's going on inside of you or even outside of you. So there's really big changes happening here, very difficult transitions, but you're coming out the other side a different person, and I think it really is about how you choose to deal with that. For some of us, we can be totally resistant to any changes that need to be made in our lives until something just makes us fucking hit rock bottom and makes us pull ourselves back up. And I don't, loss is my least favorite thing to talk about, because it is challenging. And I think too, because it makes me reflect on certain experiences I've had where I felt like I've lost everything, and it's really challenged me and pushed me in ways that I don't think I could have ever pushed myself. So now on the other side of it, I'm very grateful, but in the experience, it's very daunting. It's very overwhelming. It's very challenging. And it really does make you reflect deeply on who you've been, who you are, and who you're going to become. Because those are choices. And that's honestly what tarot is all about. Tarot is about choices. It's about somebody presenting you a guide map for an experience. And honestly, if you want a certain outcome, we can tell you what it is that you can do to get closer to that outcome. But at the end of the day, ultimately, it's your choice. And that's why tarot is a very difficult medium, in my opinion, to deal with when you're helping people. Because you can present something to them, you can show them the way, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to take the steps and make the choices in order to make that happen. Okay, Pisces. Thank you. I hope you found this reading useful. I'm sure it was quite long-winded, knowing me. I really do like using tarot to get in depth, so I have a tendency to just really hone in on a message until I hit it home. Yeah, if you found this enjoyable, if it resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, or comment down below. Once again, everything in my description box is there. My website, my Instagram, the decks that I use, and the people that you can purchase them from. And yeah, just thank you so much. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.